Hello, warriors. Welcome to the U movement. I am B. And I wanted to hop on today and do a little bit of a check-in with everybody out there and see how you are all doing. Because what's coming back energetically to me is that a lot of us are really getting hit hard. The energy in the last few weeks has been very difficult. So if you're feeling very tired, very exhausted, you are not alone. If you are feeling pressed with health issues, you are not alone. If you are feeling overwhelming confusion or anxiety or dealing with a lot of fluctuating emotions, you are not alone. And if you're just generally feeling challenged on the 3D with one thing or another, be it a relationship, be it job situation, be it finances, be it your home life, you are not alone. For whatever reason, there seems to be many of us on this wave of awakening. A lot of people resonate with the timeline that in and around 3 years ago, a Kundalini awakening started. Perhaps the spiritual awakening had already begun before that. As I'm piecing together timelines in my own awakening, I look back to, about 2016 is when I dumped into a very deep, dark depression. I then started a very difficult healing crisis. And so a lot of people are facing issues on their physical body, diseases, illnesses, chronic pain, viruses, chronic fatigue, any number of symptoms coming up on the physical. Then on my own timeline, I hit that wake-up call that we talk about when Spirit said to me, and this would have been the December of 2019, save yourself. It's time to wake up and save yourself, which propelled me into the bliss phase that I particularly liked for a period of time. And then I had a twin flame situationship come in, and then I had my Kundalini awakening and my heart expansion, and was plummeted deep into dark night of the soul for the last few years, going in and out of dark night and into the void, and dark night and into the void, and grounding, and dark night and into the void. A spiritual crisis once or twice, some burnout. This journey has been difficult and arduous, and what I'm piecing together now is some very definitive situations that seem to be common themes, patterns that are often involved with a spiritual awakening, a twin flame journey, a Kundalini awakening, whichever you resonate with. That I did a video on a while back called the 4 initiations, those being a healing crisis, those being escaping from toxic trauma bonds and a narcissistic abusive situation, those dealing with your spiritual gifts coming online, as well as your 3D world sense of safety beginning to crumble around you. So I know a lot of us on this path have had to deal with job loss. I did back at the beginning of COVID and have been trying to re-stabilize myself ever since then and rebuild a new business. So there's this sense of collapse that's happening with all the feelings of safety that once existed in the world to us slowly being ripped away one after another. And those can come out in many forms of, our coping mechanisms being ripped away from us because they no longer work for us. Smoking, drinking, drug usage, pharmaceuticals, comfort eating, limited beliefs, all these types of things, relationship that used to prop you up no longer being there for you and having to learn to go it alone. as well as, your home life situation. A lot of people on this awakening path have lost everything. And I've been under threat for over a year and a half of losing my home and not knowing if I was coming or going and where I'm going to end up. And all of this crazy, this shifting energy is all propelling us to understand certain fundamental spiritual truths. And those truths are hard for our ego to handle, and they're hard for our nervous systems to handle, and they're hard for us to shift in our consciousness, to go from one way of thinking into a whole new way of being. And one of those is the concept that is presented to us through the Four Noble Truths, the teachings of the Buddha, which says all is suffering. And so through this process of suffering, we learn to have greater compassion for ourselves as well as greater compassion through others. And it's through the suffering that we expand our conscious awareness into a much more universal or unified understanding that all is one, and where I am suffering, others are suffering. And so along this journey that I've been sharing with you on this channel through what started as the Unfuckening Movement and transitioned into the U Movement, is an understanding that if I'm feeling certain energies, if I'm feeling certain loneliness, if I'm feeling certain anxieties, if I'm feeling grief and terror and confusion and doubt, that means somebody else out there in the world is feeling the exact same thing. And so I've come on this channel time and time again because I don't want anyone to feel as alone as I felt, or feel as scared as I have felt, or feel as lost and confused. And so I started this channel as a means to shine a light out and say, you're not alone. You're not alone on this journey, and I don't want anyone to feel like they're alone. Even though we may be on our own, we are not alone. Those are two different things. And I'm very grateful for having this channel and having the connections that I have made worldwide, because every person that I have been able to connect with and say, hey, listen, your messages are resonating with me as exactly what I'm going through right now, the challenges that I'm dealing with, the trauma releases that I'm having to cope with, my inner child work, my shadow work, my present day 3D reality, this, that, or the other. And I thank you for these messages. So I'm very grateful that soul propelled me to do something before I even knew what I was doing. I had no idea where this was heading, where this was going, and I still don't. I'm given, I do channel and I'm given some information, but it's not like I'm given all the information. Most of the information is what I consider above my pay grade. And it can be very overwhelming. And I know a lot of people are in an energy that is feeling very overwhelmed right now, not knowing what the next steps are, what's coming next. Today, I went with a friend. I had a great opportunity to spend some time with a friend, which was very nice because on this journey, you find yourself alone a lot of the time. Or I should say, you find yourself on your own a lot of the time in this hermit process, because as we're learning through being alone that we are all one, that this idea of separateness and uniqueness is in itself an illusion. We also learn that, the lesson that nothing is permanent, the law of impermanence. Nothing remains the same. Nothing stays the same. Everything's in a constant state of flow and a constant state of change. And our egos don't like that. And so right now there's an energy that's this desperate grasping to find something to hold on to that is familiar, this grounding as much as you can. And, you know, I spend an awful lot of time just sitting out in the grass in my back garden, trying to find stability. Because my grouping of people that resonate with me are oftentimes coming from a background of a lot of trauma. Complex post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, perhaps depression, anxiety, other disorders that have been diagnosed to you through the years, maybe even some of those being on the spectrum. And it has been a really challenging journey through our lives to find ways to cope with what became a familiar energy. And how we chose to cope, our nervous system was pre-programmed to go into trauma responses, and you may, like myself, have been in those trauma responses for most of your life, and you could be waffling between them, you know, jumping in between the freeze response of I'm going to disassociate, to the fight response of no, I can't, you are not going to do that, I got to stand up for myself, to the fawn response of here, let me make you a tea, you've had a bad day at work, what can I do to appease you so that you stop shouting at me, I'm sorry, please, you know, calm down, it's okay, to the flight response of, you know, I'm out of here, I'm gonna go to my room and shut myself off, and I'm gonna watch movies or play video games or drink and numb and things like that. And so maybe you've been doing like I've been doing, which is like on any given day, I'm not sure how to respond, so I'm going to just keep going around like this. And then at some point you hit burnout. And none of those four work. And then you're just completely in collapse and burnout. And so what's happening now is the energies are shifting all around us. All of our familiar is shifting all around us. And so these regular responses that we used to be able to lean upon aren't working anymore. And what's the fundamental lesson behind it, the truth underneath it all, is learning that, okay, oh my God, I have to reprogram my nervous system so that it can be safe in impermanence, safe in shifting, safe in the unknown. Because none of us know the future, none of us know tomorrow. And so what I have done traditionally in my life is use these four methodologies which extend out into different types of coping mechanisms, as well as different types of thought habits and different types of emotional attempting to control the emotions. So it's always like a game of stabilization of like, okay, oh, I have to grab this and pull this one back in, I have to settle this, and this is, so it's this kind of frenetic energy, which is an oriented toward a more masculine energy of do. If I solve this, I'm doing this. If I watch a movie, I'm doing something. I'm calming this. If I make myself, I'm doing. What the universe message is that keeps coming into me day after day as of late, as I pray nonstop for, you know, direction, guidance, protection, please show me the way, is the singular message over and over again, which is to please rest. Please rest. Allow yourself the time to rest. Allow yourself the opportunity for your nervous system to do something it maybe has never done before. And so it's going to feel very unfamiliar to go into the parasympathetic nervous system, which is that I am okay. I trust that everything is okay. I have faith that things are working out for me in my highest and greatest good, even though I have zero control over anything that's happening. And I gotta say, this has been very challenging. I've done many videos on learning to be in presence, learning to be in the now. And for those that have trauma deeply embedded, deeply programmed into them, being in the now is not safe. It doesn't feel safe. because, if we look back to what we've been through before, we're like, okay, I have to learn from this so I don't get myself into those situations again, and I have to alter them in some way. So the mind is active. And then if I look forward and I can see, well, I'm not sure what's happening, or where am I going to go, or what am I going to do, or I got to plan this, I got to catastrophize the worst case scenario so I can be prepared for it. So we're lodged in between. So it's kind of like being on multiple rides all at the same time, none of which are safe and in stillness. So we're on this 4-way ride of trauma responses. We're on this 2-way ride of future, past. So we're getting bashed about. And that's why the fundamental lesson that is absolute right now is to learn to be safe now, here, now, to sit in stillness, to sit still, so that impulse to be pushed into any of the 4 trauma responses is brought into a place of singularity, as well as that forward, back, anxiety, depression, fear of the unknown, fear of the past repeating itself. That ride also comes into stillness. So learning to be still and accept what is in this moment is the ultimate mission for us at the present moment in time. It certainly is for me. And today I went with a friend, as I said, that was lovely, and we went to look at a trailer park that I thought could be a backup plan for myself with my house situation being out of my hands, and not knowing what's happening or where I'll be come a month from now. So I'm always looking for, my mind wants to be, what's coming next, what's going to be next. So I had this plan that, this could be my backup plan. And so we went to check it out today, and I just started bawling, crying, because as soon as I drove in, I'm like, this isn't it. This isn't the answer. This isn't where I belong. Nothing felt, I didn't get that tingle of, this is the answer. And it was so discouraging in the moment, because I had wanted so desperately to have a backup plan. I wanted so desperately. And to have that taken away is, again, a reminder that you don't get to have backup plans. You don't get to have, in case of emergency, we're going to do this, that, or the other. The law of impermanence and the law of all is in shift, all is in fluctuation. It is about finding peace in the now, not attempting to find peace in tomorrow and the 5-year plan and the 10-year plan. It's looking around and saying, in this moment today, I have ground to sit on. There's no bears or saber-toothed tigers around me. In this moment today, my bills are paid. In this moment today, I am breathing. My health is okay. Yes, I'm in pain, but in this moment today, I'm doing okay. In this moment today, I don't know where I'm going to be in a month, in a week, in a year, or 10 years. But in today, I have to find peace. I have to find some stability in the unstable. Find calm in the chaos. And I'm relying very heavily as of late on a lot of prayer. I'm relying very heavily on trying to cultivate a greater degree of faith. And faith has been exceptionally difficult for me because my background, I was raised with no religion. In fact, it was an anti-religious household. So faith has been something that has been much more ever since I was 18, I was seeking answers, but it was much more a mental pursuit